Go for it.
Hi, this is Kiki Powers with the California Wine and Food Alliance, and we're here in Discovery Bay, the home of Ron Lehrer Family Vineyards, this beautiful patio right on the water, and we have a chance to talk with them a little bit. Hear his thoughts on 2010 vintage, among other things.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, and so we'll try to be brief, but we were just discussing about the vintage of 2010, and some may have heard recently now, due to the weather conditions here in the Napa Valley, the cooler weather that we've been having, and even here in the Contra Costa area, we've had much cooler weather, that the grapes this year are going to take a little longer to mature, maybe an extra 2 weeks on to harvest time before we actually get to harvest them, both here in Contra Costa and in Napa Valley. And we also find that the crop is not quite as large, so there's going to be less of a crop probably due to the weather, and the intensity seems to be quite a thing that we may experience a great vintage. So these are some of the things we're looking forward to, and with the 2010 vintage, and this is clear across the board with most of the varietals, is what I understand. And even in the Syrah here in Contra Costa, we've seen that where the I think the harvest is going to be a little later, and the intensity of the grapes again could be quite a banner year. But we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, we have to wait to harvest them and then get them into the barrels and age them, and then we'll see what happens. So we'll keep that as a reserve thought. But what I wanted to talk about a little bit was like our Syrah, our 2007 Syrah that was released this year and has won a double gold award with the San Francisco International Wine Competition. And we've been very proud of it, and we've had a lot of requests for those that want it. And I thought about it a little bit. It's about, every year, and we're talking about 2010 vintage, every year is like having a new child in wine, and it really is. You take the 2007, well, we can remember back the weather we had that year, we could remember the obstacles we had to overcome, maybe too much heat, too much this, too much of that, or not enough of this or that, all the way from the soil to the pests we got to control, to the timing of the harvest, and even right down to the minute and how hot it was that day we harvest. And then quickly getting it up to the winery. So every vintage, 2007, 2008, every vintage is just like another child in a bottle of wine, because it has its own unique properties and stories behind it. And probably every winery will tell you that. You could say, well, I remember our 2004 vintage, and they'll tell you a story of that year, what happened. And so when you drink a bottle of wine, like our 2007 Syrah, there is a story behind that. We remember that year fighting the heat the day we had to pick it. We were concerned about getting them up and having them crushed. But the sugar contents were so great, we actually spiked a little bit, but the winemaker was able to control those. And then, of course, going through the aging process and then the blend, it became a great vintage. And obviously, we've won the awards, and we're proud of it. But 2008 is another child coming forward. We have some great things with that. We are looking possibly at 2008 to adding another 5% of Cabernet. In the 07, we did 5% Cabernet, Howell Mountain Cabernet Sauvignon. And what we like about the Syrah, which I do, I mean, of course, I like all varietals, and we are going to expand our label probably into some different varietals, and probably some Napa Valley cabs or Howell Mountain cabs, and that's information is forthcoming, but we're looking forward to that. But the Syrah is a unique varietal we like. It can be a very bold grape. It can be very strong, and so that's why probably a lot of you or a lot of folks maybe have a hard time with the Syrah. It's not probably something you're going to drink every day, but the Syrah is wonderful when it's paired with foods such as lamb, and we've talked about blueberries and salads, and it just does very well. But the way we tame the Syrah, I always say taming it, is that we do blend it up with the cab. And so in our 2007 we did 5%, and our other vintages such as 2004, 5, we did about a 5% cab that we blended up with it. But in 08, what we did is we already started blending, and we could be bottling it very quickly, and we're going to do about a 10% blend on that. And we have actually paired that up, and I'll give you a little hint, with a Lake County cab. It's a mountain fruit out of Lake County up around Clear Lake. we found a cab that's really incredible out of there that we may blend it up with. So these are some of the things we're doing. That's our 2008 child. Our 2009 child is still being worked on, and still, you might say, still in the womb, in the barrels, and it is coming along very well, but it's developing its own characteristics, and we're looking forward to working with it. But 2010 is like a new baby, and we're waiting to see. We're all reserved. I think all vintners are reserved to what it is, but we're excited about the 2010 vintage. So I thought I'd just discuss that today with everyone, and of course, if you ever need to get a hold of us, you know where it is at Lehrer Family Vineyards. And my email at any time is going to be ron@lfvwine.com. Again, ron@lfvwine.com. Thank you.